Started, just comments about this last game. It's not the vision that we had going over there. Again, I thought we got really good effort out of our squad. Defensively, made too many mistakes, and usually the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. And from a defensive standpoint, that was the case. And whether it was scheme or whether it was mistakes, we didn't do a very good job getting off the field on third down. So that'll give you something to talk about. They were just slightly over 50%, and that's not good enough to win. We got to be at 70%. We only got 2 takeaways. That's not good enough. I can't remember whether we had 2 or 3 and outs, and that's not good enough. We got to be a better defense. And as you saw, I'm sure you did. Tackling had a lot to do with that. I'm not disappointed in our players and their effort. Like I said, they gave us very good effort. But fundamentally, from the standpoint of tackling, we got to be better. And it's going to get better. I guarantee you that. With that said, I'll start taking questions.
Was fatigue a big factor in the second half, missed tackles, you feel?
No, I don't think so. Because the tackles that we missed, most of them were over pursuit. And we got to be able to leverage the ball and not let it cut back on us. And I don't think it had anything to do with it. And we get off the field a couple times, and the time of possession will be in our favor. We allowed them to extend drives. We get an interference call on a big third down where we're off the field. But those kind of things happen. And we missed tackles on the sideline where if we just use the sideline and press the ball to the sideline, then we're going to be off the field again. So it's fundamentals that we can improve, and that's what we got to do. And again, I go back to what I said in preseason. It gets down to coaching. And we got to do a great job of coaching. We got good enough players to win with. Do we need more depth? Oh, absolutely. That's why we got to go recruit. But it gets down to fundamentals, and we got to do a better job of coaching fundamentals this week.
What do you think of the play of your ends, specifically the younger guys? They got to the edge a little bit on you.
Well, it wasn't always the ends' fault when they got to the edge. Okay, so let's say that, make that statement first. Okay, we did a poor job of supporting some of the speed stuff that came at us, and you got to understand coverage and who has support and those kind of things. So and again, that gets back to coaching as well. But we played 4 true freshmen, and we're not going to make any excuses for that. Hey, next man up, they got to go, they got to play, and I thought they did a good job. Are they SEC ready right now? Well, yeah, they are, because they're going to play. So, and we got to continue to get them better. Steve Caldwell will do a great job of coaching them up, and they'll get better this week. And obviously, during the course of the game, they got better. So, again, it's not, if they get outside, it's not always the end's fault.
Did you guys get any explanation on that pass interference call against Sharkeys? I mean, did the refs explain that or anything? The pass interference against Sharkeys on the.
Well, we don't talk to them. I mean, they make the calls, and we don't officiate, and
Well, just where we were at it, we couldn't see what happened.
Well, I can't really comment on officiating, and I'm not wealthy enough to pay the fine.
Coach, at some point you're going to need some of those freshmen on the back end, like Catalan and Bush. How far off are they before you feel comfortable putting them in meaningful snaps?
Well, they're not bad. And coaches sometimes they get a little bit nervous, and we were trying to get that thing turned around, and we kept our best guys in there. That gave us the best shot. But we've got to just like we did. We got in a situation where we didn't play Clay in the first game, and we were trying to get him in, and we didn't. Now he's got to go out there his first game and play a bunch of reps in the SEC, and we got to speed that up. We got to find areas that we can get them in the game so they can gain that experience. Because really, I mean, it's the truth. You can practice, but they got to get game experience to get ready to play.
Coach, in watching Colorado State, it looks like they use that number 22 on the edges, and they throw to their tight ends, their H-back, they go deep. I just wonder how they evolved from last year in your view.
Well, they got the quarterback back. You know, their starting quarterback was really, you know, should have been the starter last year and got hurt in all season. Came out of spring practice, would have been the starter last year. I think, don't quote me on this, I think he messed his knee up playing basketball during the summer and missed, you know, a big portion of the season. So, you know, he is an NFL quarterback. There's no question about that. 22 will be, you know, he can get on the edge and run some of the same stuff that Ole Miss did with number 9, you know. But he can get on the edge and stretch a defense in a hurry. You know, those guys are really good players, and you know, he's a true freshman, and certainly, you know, he's already made an impact on their team, and somebody that we got a game plan for. There's no doubt.
The downfield stuff too. I mean, they got tall guys. How difficult might they be to defend?
Well, I mean, we sit in the SEC all the time, and certainly, you know, hopefully, you know, our pass rush will you know, continue to grow, because some of it you got to defend with pass rush. I mean, you can't, you know, you can't always do it all just with coverage, and you know, we got to get the quarterback off the spot, and I'll tell you this. You know, quarterbacks and Coach Bobo does a tremendous job of coaching quarterback, always has. And if they're well coached, if you don't make them get off the spot and you don't make them uncomfortable, then they're good enough to make the throws. And this quarterback's good enough to make the throws. We've got to get him off the spot, and you know, the more we do that, the more success we'll have.
I got 2 more things. Did Ole Miss get corralled, like moving around a lot more than they did in the Memphis game? And part 2, how did Grant Morgan do with all the reps he got for Scooter, and Scooter okay?
Yeah, he did fine, and Scooter's fine, Grant's fine. You know, as I said, you know, we don't lose a lot when Grant goes in the game. I feel very, very comfortable with him playing, and really, you know, in an ideal situation, the number of snaps that Scooter had was about what I'd like for him to get. You know, and that way, you know, he's not going to get worn down. And in terms of them moving around, yeah, they did a little bit more than they did against Memphis, but not anything that we didn't expect. We knew they would, you know, have to do some things, and you know, there was a couple things, but we pretty much expected what we got.
Coach, after the way the last year went with this team, I'm guessing you don't have to say much to these guys to motivate them.
Well, you know, listen, you know, you come back and you know, from a game where you hadn't played as well as you should have, and we got a good group of young men, and certainly we're going to push them to be motivated. But I'm going to tell you, I think they will be motivated and should be, as well as the coaches, and that's the way we're going to coach, and that's what we're going to expect.
Can you say something about Curl's play, just the individual play he made, and how big that was at the time?
Well, you know, obviously it's a big part of what we do, work, and the emphasis paid off. You know, he's able to get the ball out and able to pull it out, and it bounced right back to him. And, you know, anytime you get an opportunity to score on defense, it's a big play. I just wish that we'd have done some other things a little bit better so we could have made it count. Thank you, guys.